All right, folks. I hope you are ready. We already got the chat kicked up, and Marty, let's just hang tight because we're going to talk about you, birthday boy, all the way throughout the night. I have a feeling. That maybe you're due for a top five tonight. I just have that feeling. And this track can do it. So welcome, folks. Appreciate everyone joining in. I am your broadcaster, John Ross. Thank you very much for tuning in to us. We've already got some fans out there in chat. I know we're going to have a lot more that are coming out as we continue to roll through this night, but we are going to bring you some top tier racing here in the Trisha's Learning Center Gen 4s. We are coming to one of the, I guess, iconic tracks, if you will, that we've ever seen. And we are going to bring you some high-speed action here in these Gen 4 cars. They're going to be very, very interested to see what these top speeds are, how they're going to navigate what you would consider to be a paperclip style track for really individual turns. So with 4 individual turns, you have 4 apexes. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to pick some winners. We're going to talk about points. A little birdie told me Kenny put on a show last week. And another little birdie told me Alex Anderson wasn't there. Your points leader, not there. Kenny picking up a great win last week. I've seen some other fantastic drives. I did go back and watch that replay, and there was some great momentum. Thorndike was up there. I thought he was going to have a good race, especially at Kansas, because he's on that tire-saving mission. You know he always is. Woody, appreciate you hopping in already. JD is already out there. JD, I call you... it's the greatest paint job on Gen 4s. It's the best paint job in the league. You got to love that paint job on JD's car. We're going to highlight that a little bit as we go through the night. But we do have a birthday boy out there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to make sure that we highlight that car. We're going to give them some shout outs. Okay, so let's get into where we are at here, scheduling wise and the points, just like we do every week. So let's take a look at this schedule. So again, as you can see, we were at Kansas. Here we are at Indy. We're going to a short track at Richmond next week, and then we're going to hit the dirt at Eldora. We're going to WWT Martinsville, so back to a short track. Worldwide kind of runs like a short track, really like a flat track, but it takes about 30 seconds, a little over 30 seconds to get around that thing. So Martinsville, truly short track. Then we're going back to road. Then we're going to hit another track, a concrete short track, high banked in Dover. Then we're going to another right front shredder track there at the Chicagoland Speedway. Darlington after that. Then it's championship time, folks. Michigan, Road America, Charlotte, Bristol, and Vegas. You know, I was thinking about this earlier today because we knew we were going to start talking Gen 4 cars. So everyone out there, who was your favorite Gen 4 driver in NASCAR? You know, I was trying to figure out who, in my mind, would have been my favorite Gen 4 driver. Just can't really figure it out. You tell me. All right, so that is what our schedule is. Now, let's get into points. As you can see, Alex Anderson, not being there last week, has allowed Jake. Now, Jake started on the outside at Kansas. He fell back early and played that game that Jake always plays, which is save some tire, manage my equipment, and be faster on the long runs. And we saw him start to come back up and really put on some fantastic pace. Christian Proctor there in third. JD in fourth. Kenny, with that win, is going to catapult up to the fifth position. Raffini is right there in sixth. Then you got Shively, then Thorndike, Mr. Altman, and then Matt. Going to round out your top 10. So those are your points. That's your schedule. And here we go. We're going to do about 5 minutes of warm up. That's the time that they're able to get in. They're going to have this quick meeting, little driver's meeting here. They're going to talk about this track and what we can expect. So while they're talking about that, let's see if we can pull it up and find out what's going on. So you can see we are here at week 7 at Indy. 68 degrees outside, but take a look at the track temperature, 92 degrees. You can see it's a 2.5 mile, but when you really look at the layout, folks, it is because you have that, what I would consider a mini straightaway in between 1 and 2 and in between 3 and 4, very symmetrical track. So, and it is flat. The banking is not where you think a banking should be on a track with such high speeds down the straightaway. So they're going to have to watch out for that. So heavy braking, and it's going to hurt that right front because a lot of the braking in the Gen 4, when you're trying to get rotation in the center through the apexes of these turns, are going to put some pressure on the right front. So those that prefer to save tire are going to be stronger tonight. So let's keep our eyes out for that. So you can see not very much of an altitude change. So there you go. That is your track in a nutshell. And we are going to get that back down because we're going to pop this back up. 3.5 minutes in warm up. And what they are probably talking about, especially if they are in their separate discords, how are we going to handle the fuel mileage? How are we going to handle the draft? Because you have to remember that draft is going to be really relevant here. Kelly saying Gen 4, Dell, Jarrett, and then Truex. You know, Kelly, you really don't think about Dell Jarrett that much, but my goodness, he was a fantastic driver in his day. I remember some really bad crashes that he got into, but he was a great driver. And when you think about NASCAR and the family lineage that goes through NASCAR, it's just crazy to think that, who do we have that's really coming up outside of like Chase Elliott and some of those? Who do we really think I don't know. Is it Austin Dillon? I mean, that's kind of adjacent if you were to think about the family coming up. We know there's a lot of relationships there, but it used to be, Earnhardt and then Junior, and you had the Jarretts. I mean, you had people in and out. You don't see that as much anymore. All right, so you can see some drivers are now starting to take the track, and they're going to get a bit of practicing in here. Well, a little practice, maybe a little extracurricular activity here as we only have a couple of minutes. But yeah, Dell Jarrett, because, Jarrett changed, if you would think UPS. I mean, having the brown car, it was something completely different. He really put it on the map. Rena out there in chat. Rena, thank you for checking in, saying good luck to everyone. And let's go 37, like always. I'll tell you, Rena, he had a great run go and had a great qualifying position there at Kansas as well. Yes, Mark Martin. Yeah, Woody, Mark Martin was fantastic. I think everybody's avoiding Jeff Gordon, but he was fantastic. I mean, Rusty. There was a lot of even those old heads that took to the Gen 4 car, really, really well. Pretty dominant. I mean, they all had their times, right? Labonte's, Bobby and Terry had their times. Like, there was a lot of drivers, I think, that had their moments. But Mark certainly was a great, great driver. If you're thinking about it, Woody, now you said Mark Martin. I kind of think if we look at maybe Jake in that 37, he might be who I would say in the Gen 4 would most mimic that. Really patient on throttle, save a lot of tire throughout the race, keeps all of the fenders wrapped around that car, and he's there at the ends. Very, very similar driving style, I would say. Okay, just a few seconds left to go. I'm really happy to be back in the seat with you all this week as we are going to bring you another fantastic race. Now, again, I will be traveling next week, but I do have somebody, Christian Delgado, which is a fantastic broadcaster. He will be filling in for me, and we got him all set up, so he will be here next week for you all. So look forward to that. Hopefully you'll hop in that chat and give him plenty of love as well. So warm-up is over. And it is time to look at around 60 laps here at Indy. And man, it's going to go by quick. I mean, these Gen 4s will hop on board with them and we'll see really what they're going to turn. We'll pull up some dashboards. We'll see, obviously we know we're going to shift into fourth gear and just stand on it, but the RPMs these cars are going to turn by the end of these straightaways are going to be incredible. Remember, we do have special sets for this league, so I'm sure that they're going to give them a nice gear to get all the way down these straightaways if they're heavy in draft. So keep your eye out for that. But as we go through, we can see your winner. And let's see if we can pull up your results here in qualifying. So we're going to empty out that display, and then we're going to show your qualifying results. Let's do that. So Kenny is going to pick up yet another pole. Christian Proctor is going to be on his outside. Look for Christian early on to show a lot of pace. JD is going to be there in third. Matt in fourth. Davis is in fifth. Raffini sixth. Ledesma in seventh. Thorndike is in eighth. Jeremy Gill there in ninth. Drafty in 10th. Zach White 11th. Robert Altman sitting right there in 12th. Robert White sitting right there in 13th with Dylan. Dylan had a great car last week as well. Shane is right there in 15th, and then Jake is going to be your last car out there on the track in 16th position. All right, so Rachel checking in saying, go JD. Best paint job in the league, Rachel. Say it every week. It looks like Mr. White is going to decline an interview tonight very early on for us. So we're not going to be able to pull him in here. But we're going to see if we can highlight this driver. I mean, he's got the Geico. Is that the Geico Lizard on there? He's always pulling some kind of crazy paint scheme. I don't know if you all realize, but my favorite paint scheme from Marty was obviously the one where he thought I was the greatest broadcaster. Put that on. So, all right, so here we go. Kitty is going to bring them down. Your driver that won last week there at Kansas, he is going to try to go back to back. You can see the lights are out there on that pace car. We're going to do 60 laps of turns and a little bit of excitement here. Matt with one of his better starting positions, really JD as well on the season. We know Raffini is dangerous. You've got Davis right there in the 85 behind him. All right, we do not have a starter cam for you folks, so we are going to stay right here. As you can see now, Kenny is going to bring them down. That pace car is going to peel off, and we are going to have a green flag as soon as they cross this line here, and there you go, underway. All of these drivers getting off pretty well. You can see just a bit of movement under heavy throttle. They want to move around a little bit. Kenny able to shoot off. Christian's going to stay right there to his outside. And he's going to keep that nose there, so Kenny's going to have to come off a little bit more shallow than he wanted to. Now, before the temps get up in these tires, is Christian going to push it? It does look like he's going to give it everything that he's got. Kenny's going to try to break that side draft. Man, right behind him is Matt. Matt's going to give a nice draft down that straightaway. Christian really driving it there into three. That's going to allow Kenny to get a fantastic run out of three, get down into four. But, man, they are nose to nose. Oh, and it looks like Kenny's going to get just a little loose on the exit. He is going to have to tuck in. So lap one is going to go to Christian Proctor there in that 13 machine. Kenny's going to just kind of slot himself right in there. Matt right behind him, and then JD there in fourth. Oh, side by side. It looks like Ledesma Going underneath the Drafty. Drafty, I saw get a little loose on the exit of that turn, and that is going to slow him up and let that mid-tier driver there in that 4 machine start to poke his nose under. He's going to think better of it, but Ledesma there in the 44, firmly down at the bottom. Kelly saying, Colin, JD or Proctor for the win. Man, I don't know. I didn't make my pick, did I, Kelly? I should have made my pick. You know, you can see Kenny has already made that pass here. He's getting a great run down that straightaway. Already made the pass back on Christian. Now, these two drivers pulling away even with that pass happening on your third place driver. Both really good drivers, but now I have to be different, Kelly. I can't pick the same drivers that you picked. Let's pick that 37 machine, Kelly. I think Raven, if we have a caution, now it looks like he is sitting there in 16th, and that's about 6.5 seconds off of your leader here in that 71. And we know really how good this revved up driver is when he gets out front and he's saving those tires. But I know how good that 37 can be as well. So we'll see what happens. Oh, there goes Raffini. Raffini down pit road, and he's going to miss the inside wall and still having to correct that car. He did get it corrected, but my goodness. That is Jeremy Gill, not Raffini. He is in, I guess, where is Raffini? Oh, he's up in 6th in the 04, so I apologize there. That was Jeremy Gill getting all kinds of sideways, and he almost had to go down pit road to avoid that wreck. It was a great save. It really was a fantastic save, and then he had it crossed up even before the start-finish line, still trying to wheel that car around, but very nice job by him. All right, we're going to go right back up front because this battle, which you thought might be over, is not. I can tell that 13 machine is starting to get loose on entry of these turns. Oh, and caution is now going to be out. Zach White showing as wrecked. Let's see what happened to Zach. Let's go back and take a look at it here, folks. All right, let's see what happened. Looks like the 69 there of Marty. He is up high. Oh, and he's going to take a little birthday shot at the 1, and that is going to put the 77 in a bad position. Oh, my goodness. I wanted to say make some joke about blowing out a candle, but I'm just going to leave it alone. It just looked like possibly... Let's see if we can back this up just a little bit. I want to go back and take a look at it again. We'll do it here in quarter time. But it looks like the 69, he's kind of out of control here, probably a bit loose. You can see the car's just yawing out a little bit. You know, that right rear is beating that right front. So that car is loose. He's going to come out of that turn and just try to save that car and just tries to chase it down the track. And unfortunately, the one car, nowhere to go. He is going to get a really bad impact there to that right front, and then the 77 again, as the 69 is slow, is just going to get under him and lift that rear end up, turn that 69 right into the outside wall himself. That might be an early night there for both the 69 and the White. You can see the 69 smoking, so I believe Marty White is going to go to the hauler and probably starts partying early. Yeah, that is going to be out. Well, listen, happy birthday. I felt a top 5 coming. That probably doesn't bode well for my pick in the 37 car. If I'm picking that well. But it seemed like, Marty, I had a top 5 in my sights for you. Yeah, he said that was 100% on him. Yeah, we appreciate you really owning up to that. We did see it live time. Just looked like you got up there, maybe got in the marbles, pushed up high, and when you're coming out of that turn, just chasing the car down the track and getting into that quarter panel. So it can happen to anybody, but we do have some drivers that are out there in the pits, and that's going to be Shane, Zach, and Marty. I do believe that Zach could be okay. You can see he's still lifted up in the air, getting some front end damage completed. Not very certain if Shane is going to be able. Shane. I don't know. I didn't see any smoke coming out of his car. Marty saying it is the broadcaster's curse. It very well could be. All right, so let's see if we can line these drivers back up. We do have lights still on this pace car, which means we are continuing to go around this track and pace. Kenny losing the lead a bit earlier to Christian, taking that lead back over. It looked like it was starting to get hot again. Right before that caution come out, Raffini is sitting right there in third. Ledesma all the way up here in fourth. Dylan in that 70 car. Dylan had a really nice first, 5 to 10 laps there at Kansas. It looks like he started working that high line really early at Kansas and burned his tires up a bit too soon. A couple little wall touches, and man, these cars love. It looks like Thorndike is going to go down pit road here for a bit of service. Seven laps already down. And again, like we said, 60 laps. This thing is going to click by and click by in a hurry. Marty said it was the broadcaster's curse. It very well could be. Lights are now out on this pace car. So we are going to go back green. That field just a bit skinnier than what it was before. Now, Thorndike still down on pit road. It does look like, look at this, Zach White able to get out. Shane with no front. Oh, that left front. Did you see that left front tire still turning? I just don't know how he's going to make it. He can't, even under power, he can't get off of that wall. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. What he needs to do is probably take it down, spend a little bit more time, hope for an early caution here. Little bit more time getting that thing repaired. If he can get those wheels pointed straight. Yeah, it does look like he's going to take that right back down pit road. He is on pit road now. All right, so here we go, folks, lining these back up. Kenny bringing them down one more time. Matt now on the outside there. What happened? Let's see. Do we have a little blinking issue with Proctor? Proctor showing their intent. So did he go down pit road when we were not looking? You can see him there in 10th position. Joe saying, go JD, you got this. All right, so here we go. Pace car lights are now out. Kenny's going to bring them down one more time. It looks like we are going to go green here 8 laps into a 60-lap race at Indianapolis. Kenny trying to go back-to-back. Such a fantastic run last week there at Kansas. And there you go. Green flag is in the air. Looks like Kenny with a much better jump. He is going to really get out in front now. And that's going to put Raffini right below Matt. And it does look like Matt is going to be able to hold off Raffini for now. That charge still not quite done. Ledesma, he is under fire. Drafty all over the rear end there of Ledesma. Now Dylan looking underneath the Raffini. Raffini was on offense. Now he's on defense. 70 with that inside line coming down into 3. And he is going to get that. Looks like Nick is just going to back off. Now Drafty starting to work that high line. We're going to keep our eye on Proctor. He's up to 9th. Man, Ledesma really loose on the exit of that turn, putting that throttle down very, very early. Man, all of these drivers just knotted up here. About 7/10 behind your leader. Now the 70 of Dylan all over the back end of Matt. It looks like Matt's going to swing high. That's going to allow Dylan that undercut. So there he is on the inside. Now, is Matt going to fight it? That is another revved up driver there in that 70 machine. And he is going to get that pass done. So put Dylan up to second. Third now is going to be Matt. Raffini right behind him. Ledesma behind him. And then Drafty with one of the better runs that he has had so far this year is sitting right there in sixth with a very sporty car. Let's see if we can go back here and take a look at Thorndike. We saw Thorndike go down pit road. He is now underneath the Gill trying to get a position away. That is for 10th position. Gill's going to hang tough on the outside. Oh, it just almost, man, Thorndike closes the door on him there. That is going to push the 4 wide again, hitting that dirty air right before the entry of that turn. And that is going to allow the 22 to get underneath of him. And there he goes. JD's going to get that pass done pretty easy. I believe Gill wants to just sit back and try to save a little bit of tire. Now a second gap between Dylan and Kenny. Kenny just really taking to these Gen 4 cars, especially on these bigger tracks where he can save tire. And, man, once he gets out front, he just tends to set sail. Oh, we've got one in the wall. That's Matt touching the wall on the exit. The one car back out. That is going to be Shane. That's actually the 5. It shows 1, but that's going to be the 5 car coming back out. What he said, it looks like the 22 has fog lights on. Chrome fog lights. All right, this cooling off a bit. Looks like Matt in that 72's got a really nice car today. He just needs to keep the fenders on it, stay out of the wall, work the tire strategy. Let's see what happens here. Kenny's starting to snake down these front straightaway. He'll probably do the same thing there on the back stretch. Again, these drivers trying to do what they can to break that draft. The draft's so strong in the Gen 4. Let's go on board here with Ledesma. And just listen, at 9,000 RPMs, over 9,000 now. 9,500 by the end of that straightaway, folks. Man, he is going to get super tight. Caution is out. Caution is out. Dylan just went purple that lap. Let's see if we can find out what happened. That is on the 59 of Thorndike. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to the 59. All right, he is going to get in that turn. Looks like he's going to overdrive, have to slow up in the 94. And that is Robert is going to get in the back end of him. Man, that is going to turn Thorndike right into the wall. He's going to bring that to a stop. Now, that is going to benefit some drivers here, folks. That 70, let's see, 77 of Zach is going to be able to come down and get some more damage repaired. So is that one machine. He's going to be able to get some more damage repaired. Shane. Man, while we pace around, I believe we're going to have, let's see if we're going to have Kenny come down and take, so we're 13 laps in. This might open up a window, even though it does not seem like a lot of laps, folks. That is a lot of wear on these tires. This Indy track really chews up tires. And we are going to see what's going to happen. It does look like Kenny's going to shoot down. And most of these drivers are going to follow him. Now, what is Proctor going to do? Raffini's going to stay out. Everybody else is going to come down pit road. Raffini, the only driver, lone driver there. Looks like the 77 is going to stay out too. He might attempt a wave around, but that wave around, no, he's going to get the lucky dog. That's why he's going around now. All right, folks, so while they do that, let's see if we can pay a few bills here. We'll be right back with you. All right, so we are back with you as these drivers get their pit stops done. Now, it does look like we have some strategy going on here. Proctor coming down, having a super quick stop. So he might have had those tires that last pit stop, and he is just fuel up, and he is getting out of there. Raffini never went down pit road at all, is now that light's going to go out on the pace car. So what I want everybody to watch out for is some of these drivers that did not take tires. Davis is right there. JD now, he is on the outside right behind Proctor. It does look like your first two drivers, the 71 and the 70, are the first two with full pit stops, and then everybody else behind them. So what is going to happen? Your first two rows are going to be on old tires. Anytime you're on old tires in these Gen 4s, it is difficult to put that power down. So they have to be ultra careful when they hop onto these restarts. And it does look like Shane is coming back. Now he's got a front clip. They found one. They went in the trailer and found one. Thorndike is right behind him as well. So he is going to be able, I believe Shane is going to be able to keep up a whole lot better than what he was before. It looks like Zach White got quite a bit of damage repair too when he went in. Now he's going to start 13th on the field here. 15 cars are going to come back to this green flag run. We are 15 laps in, will be 16 laps in when we cross this start-finish line. You've got Nick Raffini right there on the inside, Christian Proctor on the outside. Davis, he is going to be there in third, and then JD on his outside. Then you've got those fresh tires and fuel of the 71 Kenny and the 70 of Dylan. So here you go, folks. The 77, he is going to pull over. I believe he still thinks he is broken. Nick Raffini bringing them down. He is in that starting zone now, and he is green flag. You can see him wiggle around just a little bit, shifting through the gears as you've seen fire shoot out right before that right rear tire, and he is down and away. Man, a fantastic jump by both of these drivers. JD not having a great start there on the outside. Oh, 70 already into the 85. They're having to check up. Both drivers loose. Everybody trying to jockey for position. These drivers, the 70, the 71, trying to make the most of their tires. Now the 71 underneath, so put Kenny underneath of Dylan right here, and that is going to be for your fourth position. So 71 goes to fourth, Davis right in front of them. Nick is going to have to do some major blocking right here because Christian Proctor is all gas pedal, no brake. We know that. And he is all over the rear end of this 04 car. Man, you can just see where they have to counter steer these Gen 4s. They're so loose on this track. He's getting in the turn really well. Nick much better on the exit. So you can see two different driving styles. Christian really attacking the corners. Nick more of rolling entry and harder exits. Is now Nick is going to take a little bit wider line there, and that is going to allow Christian to get right back to the bumper. And now he is going to move over. It is snake time. The 71 getting past the 85 there. That is going to be for third. So fresh tires are coming, and if Christian Proctor is going to do something, it's going to have to be soon. Let's go right back here, and we are knotted up. Jake right there on the outside, the 4 of Jeremy Gill. He is underneath him. Drafty looks like he's getting a little loose on the exit of the turn. Matt with a good car. He is getting by both of those drivers. He's going to 2 for right down this backstretch. Jake needing them to figure out what is going to happen. They need to get this thing Somebody pass somebody so that they can line up and go, because it does look like Matt is already sneaking away. So if you look at that, just a couple of turns side by side, and Matt takes almost a 7/10 gap to that driver. As now you can see, folks, Christian Proctor getting by Raffini, but now the 71 just went purple last lap, meaning he just turned the fastest lap of the race, and that's a 51.9. That is 4/10 faster than your leader. Now, a lot of that is because you're in draft. That leader does not have anyone to draft over. He is cutting the air. That 71 is in that draft, firmly in that draft. And I think this is just a matter of time. Christian with a really good car tonight, already pulling away from Raffini by a pretty good margin here. Doing solid work with older tires. It does look like the 70 has gotten some damage dealing with such a quick car driving through the field. Now with some right front damage, has slowed that car, and he has not been able to move forward. I believe you are now looking at your two fastest drivers out here on this track. Now, we've got 40 laps to go. I think Kenny just needs to be calm, and he is not going to be calm. He's going to shoot underneath the Christian. Man, he got there and just wasted zero time. What do I know? I'm just the broadcaster. That is going to allow Raffini to get back. Now, I don't know if the 71's going to have enough. Now, he's trying to side draft that 13, pulling back just a bit, and he was able to do that. Gets into turn one really well, but Christian on that high side is going to hold tough. Wheel to wheel these drivers go, and it does look like the 71 is going to get this passed on. He is now going to get down to the bottom, trying to break that draft again. Man, it looks like he might have had to pedal that off of two. Slowed him down enough where Christian again out in front. Just think the rotation in the center of the turn is so much better for the 71 right now than it is that 13. 13 is going to have to make the decision as the 04 gets even closer, if he is going to keep this battle up or if he's going to try to slot in and run away from everybody else in the field. And I think he is choosing violence, folks, as he is now on the outside, and he might be able to get him cleared again, and he is going to do that. The 71 having to get back in line here. Proctor fending off that battle, but now the 71 right back at him as Proctor gets down there and gets pushy on the exit. Does look like this pass is proven to be a little bit more difficult than what Kenny was wanting it to be. It does look like the 04 now is going to try to follow the 71, or does he get a run and go three? He's not going to get a run and go three. He is going to choose to go with the 71. Christian really working that outside well on the entry of one. And the more this driver runs up here, the more he's going to get used to it. And it's going to make him more and more dangerous here. Man, the run that Gen 4 gets off of the exit of those turns. The 04 definitely has picked his running mate. He is trying to push that 71 ahead of Christian Proctor. 71, I believe, is going to get that pass done now. Just not enough rotation for Christian there in the center of that turn. So there you have it. The 71 getting that pass done. Now starting to snake down these turns. So let's see if we can slide back here. Dylan, now in that 70, he's starting to sneak back in. But you can see, folks, that right front damage on the front end of that 70 car, that is definitely going to hinder him as these laps go on. Looks like Davis is going to give way. 70 is going to get that pass done. So put Dylan up to fourth. Raffini holding strong there in third. Now Christian Proctor, he is in the draft all over the back end of the 71. '71 just able to get that car down to that white line and back out really well. Christian getting tight. That Gen 4 seems to be getting tight on him. All right, so here is another pack. This is the second pack behind your lead group now, and that is Jeremy Gill, JD Van Kirk. It looks like Ledesma's in there, and now Matt is in there as well, as both of these drivers, the 22 and the 44, getting loose on the exit of that turn. Gill seems to have a very racy car tonight. Man, I tell you, this driver in the 44, we have seen him just get better and better and better. Every week that goes along, it seems like he's learning more and more and more about these tracks, about this Gen 4 car. Now, JD, he is loose on the exit of 4, and that is going to allow Gil to go by. Now, Ledesma is going to be underneath of Matt. We saw these passes being extremely difficult, and there he goes, getting loose on the exit, trying to put the power down and get this passed on. Not able to do it, and that is going to open the doors. It looks like Gil has this car on a rail right now, and now he's going to poke his nose underneath of the 44. He is going to get that pass done. Now Ledesma just sliding up, allowing the 4 to go underneath of him. So he is up one more position. Now in 7th is Jeremy Gill, right behind Matt in that 72. Man, and we're just going to stay with this battle because I do believe you're going to see, actually, we've got another battle right here as Raffini and Davis are going at it. Now the 85 coming back, as it looks like Raffini's tire wear starting to show up for him now. Proctor's able to hang on to that front end of Kenny, or really the back end of Kenny, but the front of this field with his few lap older tires. But it does look like Raffini is starting to struggle, as now Gil on the hunt again. Now he is after the 72 machine. You can see he's just using that high arch, trying to put that car on that right rear. And he is going to get a fantastic run, and now he has such a great run, he almost got it sideways, trying to stay in that throttle. Matt may be having to slow down on the exit, but that is going to put this 4 car up another position. I think he's going to get this done. He is. No crossover from the 72. So Gil now taking over 6th position as he continues his march forward. Now JD all over Ledesma, starting to work on him. It looks like the 44, he was in the wall all the way down that straightaway. Man, but even Ledesma working his way back up to the back end of Matt. All these drivers loose on the exit. You could just see them wiggle on the exit of these turns, trying to get a good run off. Now your lead up to over a second gap. Kenny starting to put some distance as we near halfway of this race. Oh, and the 4 extremely loose. He's going to save it. Oh, man, he's got those tires hot. As you can see him trying to find some traction. It's going to open the door back for the 72. And they are going to be in a drag race. You know the 4 doesn't want to give it up. Man, it looks like he settled that thing back down. Now JD underneath the 44. JD not able to get out of the exit of that turn, as now it looks like Raffini is going to bring that car down along with Thorndike. You can see Thorndike over there on the right-hand side. He's coming down pit road. We're going to go right back here to this battle. Your lead up front, continuing to grow. It does look like Dylan in the 70 might be coming back to Davis a little. We're keeping an eye on that. Now 6/10 your gap, now 5/10. So it looks like Davis is starting to catch back up to Dylan. Canova there with that right front damage. Now he has got to hope that when he comes in and gets some tires, he can spend just a little bit of time trying to get that right front damage fixed. But as we watch that happen on the screen, you can see how tight this battle still is. This is a three-way battle. JD now starting to slide off of the back end of these three cars. That's the 4, the 72, and the 44. Matt, it looks like Matt's tires are coming in a lot better right now. The 4 car is starting to struggle. Thorndike is now out. That is going to throw a curveball in the mix of this. Let's see what happens to the 59. What he's going to do, he is going to be on fresh tires and wanting to go. Ledesma's going to take it extremely high. That's going to open the door not only for the 59, but now for the 22. Everybody follow back in line. JD really playing it safe this race. Now it's going to be really interesting to see what is going to happen as Thorndike is going to be coming on those freshies soon as those things get some heat in them. And there you go. You just see the turning ability that those fresh tires have over these old tires. He is going to be underneath and gone of this 72, maybe the 4 as well. Oh, and he's going to get cut off. There he goes underneath of him. So there's Thorndike. He's going to try a 2-for. He's not going to get a 2-for done. Jeremy just looks like he settled that car down a bit. It's good for him. Your gap now almost 2 seconds. Ledesma big loose on the exit of that turn. Now they're going to come out of 2. Now Ledesma, he might have been loose, but what a run he gets. Look into the inside of the 72. He's going to tuck back in line. And don't look now, but we have that 37 car. Saban Tire has now come into this pack of cars, and he is on the back end, is going to start working on JD now. Jake, we saw him fall back earlier. We know he's going to take care of some tires. Man, Matt into the wall. Big loose again for JD. It does look like Jake has started to run him down. Yeah, it's not going to be long now. I don't think JD's going to be able to hold him off. Jake just does such a great job on saving those tires. Now, sometimes you're a victim of that, right? So sometimes you save those tires too long. So for now, you know, these drivers, they're 10 seconds back from your leader. And sometimes you wait too long to go, so you want to have a good mix. Now, JD really tight to that inside line, and he's going to get a great run on the exit of that turn. But right now, your fastest driver on the track, that last lap, is going to be Kenny. That 52.72, 53.10 for your driver there in second place. But, man, Kenny is running faster lap times right now. 52.72 to Jim Thorndike, who come down with tires at a 52.80. Nick Raffini, however, now he turns the fastest lap at a 52.5. So those fresh tires definitely doing something, but the fall off doesn't look to be as bad if you're sitting around here in draft. You can see Thorndike is right in front of these drivers. Again, that he come down and got some tires. Now I feel like this battle's starting to get a bit closer. Davison at 85. We saw him way out of shape earlier, and he is going to do the same thing now. He is driving that car on the edge. Let's see if we can go on board with him. But you can see he has to make corrections going down the straightaway. Yeah, you can just really hear that he's using that throttle to turn the car. That's why he kind of got off of it in the center of that turn. And when he was able to get off of it, it really switched the weight of that car down to the front tires and helped him get that rotation and then got right back on it. So really nice job by him there in the center of that turn just to manage this. So you can see how loose that car is, just driving it in, really overdriving that entry of that turn, trying to make up some time on that driver in front of him. Gonna go right back here and take a look now. Gill that we saw earlier, now the 72 of Matt, he is going to come down. Davis is going to come down pit road. The 70 is going to come down pit road. So all your pit stops are starting to happen now. 23 laps to go in this race. I just wanted to go on with this 70 car. Just wanted to see if we were trying to get any of that right front damage, or if he is just going to hop off, and he's just going to get whatever he can done. You know, it's unfortunate because this is a green flag stop. You really can't do a whole lot. Now, looks like Kenny, he is going to come down. Christian Proctor, on those older tires, he's still going to stay out. And he is going to get another lap led here. Man, you kind of want to hop on and say, Christian, you know, you got to get down pit road. You want some fresh tires. You don't want to lose a second and a half a lap. And we're going to keep our eyes on these lap times. That last lap around, Christian turned a 53.4. And when every 10th is going to matter, you want to make sure you get yourself down. Now, in the road course ways, or even here, 22 to go, the longer you stay out, the less fuel you got to take, and it quickens that pit stop up. But you're just not going to outpace. A full tank will not outpace 4 tires. So there goes Christian. He is coming down. That is going to turn this lead over now to Drafty. I think Drafty, yep, he's going to come down as well. And once he comes down, your leader coming out now is going to be this 71 machine. We saw Dylan back there in the background just loose. And it does look like he might come out. Let's see where Christian's going to come out. He's now getting on and into his pit stall. Kenny looks like he's going into 3, now 4. He is going to be coming off of 4. This is going to be close. Now, Christian's going to have to rejoin at the exit, I believe, of 2. So Kenny's just now getting by. Yeah, Christian is going to have a big gap here to make up. A big, substantial gap. I do believe that he might actually lose second here to the 70. Yes, he's going to. And Raffini is going to get by Christian as well. So Christian has a lot of work to do here to get himself back up. He is going to come out 5.5 seconds behind your leader. So 21 laps to go. Kenny once again showing a ton of pace, even on old tires. He's really got that car nice and neutral. It's lifted up. You can see the rear end lifted up on that car, which means he's just driving that thing. He's got it turned extremely well, and he's able to throttle up and throttle off. That's some of those tire-saving things that a lot of these drivers can certainly learn from the 71. Now, 3 seconds, 38 is going to be your distance. Christian Proctor getting by Nick Ruffini in quick fashion. Proctor now 4.96, so we're going to watch. It does look like J.D. Van Kirk just went purple your last lap, folks. This is the fastest driver out here on the track. 51.94. Man, I tell you, Gil, Ledesma, JD, Jake's right there, Matt's right there. All 5 of these drivers, they just cannot get away from each other. That's actually Zach in that 77 with some heavy front end damage, but they cannot get away from each other this race. Now Christian Proctor's cut half a second off of that lead from Kenny, now 4.5 seconds. It looks like Dylan is starting to catch Kenny as well. So Kenny's got plenty of seconds to play with, folks. So he's probably sitting back, allowing them to catch up a little bit. And Ledesma really loose on the exit of that turn. That is going to open the door for not only Jake, but and that 22. All right, so Gil getting that pass down. We know Gil, fantastic on tires early on in these runs. Starts to get some wear in him a little bit later, and he starts fighting some loose conditions. Now, it looks like Dylan has started to slack off a bit. Now, 3.5 seconds your lead. But it looks like Proctor has chipped away about 1/10. So with 17 laps to go, it's going to take a lot more than 1/10 to get this thing done. Oh, Ledesma again big loose. So he is pushing that car as hard as he can. I will tell you, save for a few little cautions earlier, folks, you have got to love this Gen 4 league, top tier racing. What a show they put on. I mean, there's so many points, so many races inside of a race. And we like to make sure that we bring you all of them if possible. There you go. JD now working on the back end of Ledesma. Ledesma's overheated those rear tires a bit. You can see all of the times that he's gotten loose, that's put a ton of heat in those rear tires, so he's not getting the traction it needs off of these turns. And that is allowing JD to get to the back end of this car. And there he goes, the 44 loose again. He is going to save. Oh, he's going to try to rejoin. The rejoin is going to work. Now, Jake's going to get underneath of him. Man, we talked about that tire wear earlier, and that's exactly what happened to Ledesma. Such a good run. Now, he's got to be careful. We're going to stick with him. He's got to be careful here because these things are going to be hot. All right, it looks like he's calmed that down, but my goodness, what a bad break for Ledesma, just getting loose. Now, that is going to put Oh, now JD is starting to get loose, and now he's touched the wall, and he is loose on the entry of that turn. Man, these drivers are hanging it out right now. But he is coming. JD is catching him. Now 4-second your gap to Proctor. Proctor now getting that pass done on Dylan. I just went to him, so he was able to get that pass done. So now Proctor's back up to second. 3.7 seconds now. So that last lap, he was a little bit slower than your leader, but he was getting that pass done on Dylan. So we're going to keep an eye on that as we go through the rest of this race. We're going to go right back here as JD still all over the back end here of Jeremy Gill. Gill, we saw him a little bit earlier with some speed early on, and then he started to get loose as the race went along. As you can see, he's just taking a bit more of an arching entry. So when you do that and you take more of an arching entry, you're putting more wear. You're putting that car on that right rear. So if you start to have a loose condition, that car starts to be loose, you want to do what JD does, which is be about 3 car lengths down and you enter that turn more shallow. When you do, it puts weight off of that right rear as you get to the apex and puts it on the right front. So it helps you keep that car neutral throughout the race. And there you go. So Jeremy Gill starting to get loose because he's keeping that car on that right rear for every turn. You've got to make sure that you mix that up 5 laps on one style, 5 laps on the other, and keep that balance neutral as that race goes along. One of those great things that Kenny does throughout these races. And now with a 4-second lead over Proctor, I just don't think Proctor's going to have the horsepower, especially with 12 laps to go now, to be able to get this thing done. JD still working, still looking. This is going to be for 6th position. And if you look right at the top of your screen, you see that 04 car. Thorndike coming back out of the pits. You see that 04 car. Both of these drivers starting to run down your 5th place position here in Nick Ruffini. And run them down in a hurry. So this could very soon become a 3-way battle for 5th. Yes, he is there. You see them, they're all 3 going to be in the draft now. Thorndike sliding right in between these 2 drivers. Now Ruffini really off of the pace as now he is going to come down pit road. 11 laps to go. Man, Thorndike getting loose, and now he's going to slide right in front of Gill. Gill, what a fantastic move to avoid making contact there with the 59. 59 with those tires, those fresh tires, is trying to work his way into the front, get by these drivers so that he can set sail. Now the 4 car is in the wall. Those fresh tires are going to turn so well. Your gap starting to extend up front. Christian now going to about 4 seconds. Losing about a 10th and a half. All right, it does look like we now have a caution that has come out. We show the 72. Oh, my goodness, look at Matt. We just seen him right there. Heavy, heavy damage to the front end of that car. And that is going to give you a 10-lap shootout. Now the drama begins, folks. Now the drama's fixing to happen. Let's see what happened to the 72 here, Matt. Kenny trying to get by him. Oh, and he's just going to get loose on the outside and check up. Oh, a big impact to Kenny. That is your leader, folks. Kenny has been destroyed. The front end is off of that car. Oh, tragedy is going to bite your leader once again. And 2 in a row is not going to be possible. What a change of events. Let's see if we can go on board with Kenny. So here it goes. They're coming out of this turn. And there you see it. He is going to check up. Now, Matt is going to try to save it. That's going to be an overcorrection. And when he hits that wall, just there he goes, hitting Kenny. Nowhere to go. Kenny's hard right. I mean, such an impact is just taking the hood off of that car. And right into that inside retaining wall. And as that hood flies off, so does his thoughts and dreams of getting 2 in a row. Christian Proctor now is going to be your leader. Raffini's going to be in second. I'm sorry, Dylan's going to be in second. Raffini's going to have to take a wave around. I just am not certain. Man, Kenny just has to be sick. Kenny is down pit road. I mean, you could just tell, folks, he is not going to be in contention any longer. You see the damage. Up 4 seconds on second position. 10 laps to go. Oh, Matt, I believe Matt is probably going to call it a night. Kenny's going to get towed. He's going to bring it back. He tried to get that thing off pit road. You saw that to stay on the lead lap. Brought it right back to the pits. You know he's dejected. I'm dejected, and I'm just sitting here watching it. If I was driving it, my goodness. Well, the show must go on, folks. 8 laps to go. Christian Proctor coming out of the pits here. I believe he is going to come. He is going to come out as your leader. We've got a lot of drivers trying to get a wave around. Drafty's going to be a part of that. Shane is going to be a part of that. Robert Altman, he's a part of that. Thorndike, he's going to try to get a wave around. I believe they're going to be able to do that. So all of these cars in front of Christian, when they get the 1 to go, is going to be getting the wave around and trying to catch up to the back end of this field. Now, what can these drivers do? You are going to have some hungry drivers. Man, it does look like, folks, the deadlock of revved up racing dominating these wins could very well be coming to an end tonight. Kenny still in the pits trying to get some repairs done. You hate to see that. You know the 72 of Matt feels terrible. Just overcorrecting, trying to save that car, getting into him. My goodness, I can't get over it, folks. I cannot get over it. All right, so here you go. This Hello Kitty 13 machine. He is now smelling blood in the water. He's been your second fastest car and your second fastest driver all night long. But with 7 laps to go, you just never know what's going to happen. You've got Davis right on his outside. Jeremy Gill, he's had a good car. We've seen him all night long. Ledesma, with that earlier chase down to the inside retaining wall, now Abel, he has another lease on life. JD's there. Jake's there. Dylan did stay in and get that right front repaired. He's going to be coming in a big way. This still might not be over. Let's go, Protractor, there in chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. He is sitting in a great spot right now, I've got to tell you. There you go. That pace car is off. 6 laps to go when we cross this start-finish line. You can see those 2 lines there at the bottom. That is your Geico restart zone where the orange wall is on the top, and there he is. Christian is right into that. He is going to fire off. Everybody's moving around. You can see the front end of those cars diving. That's them shifting gears. Christian hopping down into turn 1. He has got a nice little lead. The 4 of Jeremy Gill and Davis are going to fight with each other and get loose. JD is in the wall. In behind him, JD getting a little loose on the exit. Oh, we've got a big wreck here. Oh, Davis is going to get loose, and it looks like he went straight up the track. Caution back out. Garrett saying this will be fun. Well, there you go. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here to Davis. Man, something happened. I just seen him turn hard right into the wall. Oh, he might have got, oh, he's going to get loose right there. And he is still loose. You can really see Ledesma starting to check up. Oh, and he's just going to stay loose because once those tires get hot, you can actually see the smoke coming off of that right rear tire as he is absolutely sideways. Now a lot of smoke. He is staying in that throttle, and he is going to hook. No, he's going to get off of the 44. Dylan is now going to go down below, and Davis is just, he's along for the ride right here, folks. And there he goes spinning around. I will tell you what is fantastic about that driver and what he did right there. He kept his car. I mean, that thing was wrecking. It was wrecking for 2 turns. We know that. You've seen it. He kept it off of every other driver out here on the field. If that's not respectful racing, folks, I don't know what is. You hate to see that there by Davis. Probably his best finish. And you get the opportunity to come into the booth and talk to your broadcaster. So he wanted that opportunity. We know that's what was going on. And put that thing in the wall to save everybody else. All right, we got a lot of chatting going on. Looks like SM Racing Products there by Marty. And I don't know, Garrett and Marty are now going back and forth. And I'm not certain what's going on there. But Kenny saying hello again. Yeah, Kenny, we are talking too soon in these races, my friend. That should be in the broadcast booth doing interviews there for podium positions. Such a fantastic job that you had, a race that you had going 4 seconds up, 10 laps to go. Looked like Matt got loose, overcorrected, and certainly got you caught up in that. Really hate to see that. Kenny, don't give the birthday boy a penalty. Yeah, Kenny, come on in the booth. Kenny coming into the booth. Let me see if we can pull him up. Let's see if I can pull him up into the booth. All right, Kenny, you got us?
I gotcha.
Hey, man, I'll tell you, what a heartbreak for you. Again, it seems like every time we get into these races, you have such a fast car and something happens.
Yeah, I mean, second time this week, this season. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I could have done. Just kind of was biding my time, hoping to get around him. And I know he's dealing with some. He had a lightning strike, a power flicker, so he lost his force feedback. So that's definitely not going to help you. And I was actually impressed with the lap times he was running with no force feedback, and then yeah, just one little mistake, and I just was too close.
Yeah, and that happens. I mean, that's normally what we don't race by ourselves and just turn lap times right. So that's normally it does happen. But as you're the leader, let me ask you this: do you feel like it's worse getting wrecked out as the leader, or the person wrecking the leader?
Ugh. I mean, I would feel pretty bad if I wrecked the leader, but it it stings a lot more when you are the leader and get taken out of it. So I mean, I'll probably have to go with being the leader. And if I didn't have a 4-second lead, I was biding my time, like just had to knock the laps down. So that it stings.
It does sting, and I'll tell you, I've been on both sides. I've been wrecked out by people while leading, and I've been on the reverse side of it, and it's never a good feeling. But the beauty of what we do in iRacing is we're all out here as a big community. We're able to enjoy some time with all of these racers. But walk me through, Kenny. Walk me through these last three laps, man. We are going to go back green. Who are you thinking has the ability in the motor to get this thing done?
Well, I mean, I see a couple revved up guys there. Proctor on fresh tires, he's quick. He fires off really quick. I don't think there's really gonna be enough laps for Raven's strength. He's a long run guy. He can just maintain that speed. Dylan says he's got some damage, which is kind of holding him up about 2/10 a lap. He's saying, I don't know. I mean, all it takes, one little slip up from Proctor in the front, and that opens it up for the guys in the second row. So I think it's going to be an exciting little shootout here. But Proctor's got great fire off speed, and we'll see if anyone can give him a run for his money.
Yeah, and he's had good fire off speed all season long. It just seems like he's able to take fresh tires and do really good things with fresh tires. And then some of the heat gets built in him. He gets a little right front wear and he'll fall back a little bit. But you've got to say, man, if I'm hedging my bets right now, that 13 machine, he is going to have the jump here on the start. And he is going to have these fresh tires. So he is going to be one of your stronger guys, I would think, coming down here to the checkered flag.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely it's in his hands. It's his to lose at this point. So we'll see if he can not crack under the pressure. Just focus on this restart and set sail.
Yeah, so here we go now. We're going to have that pace car. He is going to duck down to the left-hand side. We want to make sure that we get a nice, clean restart. Want to make sure we don't spin those tires. You will start to see them snake down this front straightaway as they are under throttle here, Kenny. And we are going to take these drivers through this Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air. Here comes Proctor heading these drivers down here to turn one.
Yeah, and that was a great launch. He did exactly what he needed to do to, set himself in the best track position. And we'll see if Dylan's got anything here for Gil, but Gil had a great run coming out of one.
Yes, he did, and it looks like now that 70 car, Dylan, he is going to be right behind that four overdriving it just a little bit. Now he's going to get to the inside, so 70 the inside of the four.
Yeah, the turn two's been real tight all day, so it's, if you throttle up just a little bit too early, it just makes it so much worse. But we'll see if Dylan can drive it on in there.
Yeah, it looks like the four is now going to get in the wall. That is going to put him in danger here as Ledesma's going to get underneath of him, and they're going to almost touch, but the four is going to hold him off, and that wall just come out there, Kenny, and grab him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the draft right now, we'll see if Canova can get him. The draft's huge here. You can gain a lot of time, so he's going to get right up to the back bumper here of Proctor.
So here we go. We're going to go through turn one. Really nice apex there by Proctor. Now the 70 is going to get loose. The 44 is in the wall.
Oh, Dylan's getting tight right there in turn two, which is going to allow Proctor to gain some time here going down the back stretch.
Yeah, he's going to have some drafting. I don't know. That looks like about 3/10, almost 4/10. They're going to separate your front two. Really nice entry there by Christian. I don't know, Kenny.
Yeah, Dylan's got to make some magic happen. There's just not enough time left. I think Proctor just needs to have a smooth corner, and it's his.
There you go. Your first win of the season, this 13 machine, unless something crazy happens. Now the 4 car trying to throw away a podium, but here he comes. Christian Proctor is going to be your winner. Dylan coming in second, and Jeremy now in third. Fantastic drive by all 3 of these guys.
Yeah, it's great to see Gil up on the podium. He's been working his butt off, and he's been racing with us since day one, so it's proud of him. That's actually a really great result for him.
Yeah, he really had a good run tonight too. As we were walking through and watching him, he had a good car. I would say from about as soon as the heat got in those tires until there was some wear. So 2 laps in to those fresh tires, and then about 3 after. Now we got a little extracurricular activity, but he had a really quick car. Started to get loose by the end of those runs, but man, he showed a lot of speed all night long.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, fantastic job by all of these drivers. That 13 machine, he is happy. Such a strong racer, especially on fresh tires, just like you said. Dylan bringing home. Is this going to be Dylan's first podium this season?
Yeah, this season, yeah, he's missed the last season. He ended the season with 5 wins in a row, so he's very fast, and he's just been getting up to speed with this car, so he'll be up there in no time. But that definitely his first podium of the season, and then the revved up racing streak ends with 10 races.
Isn't that something? We talked about that a little bit earlier. Revved Up has just been dominating this season, Kenny, but it does come to an end, and all great things have to do that from time to time. But here's the big question everybody wants to know: where's Anderson?
He hasn't even told us where he's at, so I don't know what's going on. He hasn't told us anything. He didn't tell us he was going to miss any races, so maybe I'll have to message him and see where he's at, because he's dropping down the points after this.
Yes, he absolutely is. But fantastic job by you. I do appreciate you coming in the booth. We're going to get some interviews in, but fantastic job winning Kansas last week too. And I know we did not have a broadcast for that, and I hate that, but did a fantastic job. I did go back and watch it, obviously, and great job by you. And man, that was a nice win. I thought you had 2 in a row. Just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, not meant to be. But hey, I appreciate you letting me hop in and have some fun with you there at the end, and we'll catch you next week, brother.
Yeah, you can come in anytime you want, Kenny. Sorry about a tough night tonight, but congratulations on a great win there at Kansas.
Yeah, hopefully I join you when the races are over and not during them.
That would be a fantastic job. Oh, before we go, are you looking forward to bringing one of these Gen 4 cars out there on the dirt at Eldora?
I'm excited for it. We've done a dirt race every season at least once, and it's always a blast. Like, we did one in the 87s back in the day, and it was so much fun, and it's fun. You got to drive the cars. It's not just, making left turns. Like, you got to drive it, and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm excited for it.
All right, great. Well, we'll make sure that we are there, and we got the fireworks ready for another fantastic race here at Top Tier Racing. Kenny, thank you again.
Yep, take care, man.
All right, see you. All right, so there is Kenny, one of your fantastic drivers that we have here on Top Tier Racing. It's just a sad night for him, but man, you got to love the spirit that Kenny brings, because you know how frustrating that can be from time to time. So let's see if we can find some of these drivers as we're going to continue to watch Christian Proctor just burn this thing down. We do have some results for you here. And that is going to be Proctor here is going to be your winner. Actually, let's bring that up one more time. We got Dylan there in second. Jeremy Gill is going to be in third. Raffini there in fourth. Ledesma in fifth. Thorndike in sixth. What a great comeback there by that 59 car. JD is going to be in seventh. Jake in eighth. Altman there in ninth. Zach White in 10th. A great comeback by Zach White. Davis in 11th. Drafty 12th. Matt is going to be 13th. Shane, Kenny, Roberts are going to round out your 16 drivers that we had here tonight. So let's see if we can get some interviews going, and then we might see if we can talk to the birthday boy that was declining interviews a little bit earlier. We might see if we can grab him and bring him in here. So let's see if we can look at some of these drivers and see if we have a Jeremy Gill in the chat somewhere. Let's see. Where is Mr. Gill? There he is. All right, let's see if we can bring Gil up here to the booth. We'll have a conversation with him. Jeremy, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, boss.
Well, man, I will tell you, it was a lot of fun watching you. If you have a chance to go back and see the broadcast, you were knotted up with the 44, with the 22. It just seemed like all night long, you three, four, even sometimes five cars could never get away from each other. The 72 of Matt was in that. And then, man, you had your opportunity to get you a podium. Walk me through your race, how this car handled at this track. Looked like you were fighting kind of a loose condition there at the end.
Yeah, I was. So I was burning the right rear off of it really, really heavy all race. I only got like 6 minutes of practice with this setup on this track tonight. So I'm really happy with how tonight played out. It was a good turnaround for me, and I hope that I can build on this momentum. But man, tonight it was I I got scared getting around folks because I didn't have enough track time with this car at this track with this setup to feel comfortable in making passes. So I was real selective and laid back. But when I got in front of somebody, I did everything I could to keep them behind me because I knew getting back around them was going to be a challenge for me. So I
Yeah.
apologize if that made some folks mad, but I had to do everything I could because, like I said, I had no seat time for this race. So hopefully next week we'll have some.
It seemed like on fresh tires you were very patient to let the pressure build up, get a little heat in the tires, and then once you had grip you were really working the bottom side of that those
Yeah.
turns as those drivers were starting to wash up. And then it seemed like a little bit later on in those tire runs that four car started to turn a bit loose for you, but early on about the middle of your tire run, man, you were absolutely flying. Fantastic job, and just like you said, it's a good turnaround for you, a run that you really needed here, bringing a podium finish. Man, are you really ready for some of these short tracks and even these dirt tracks we're going to here in the next few weeks?
Dirt, no. Dirt, absolutely not. Dirt, no. Short track, yeah, yeah. Bring it on. Let's do it. Yeah. So it was weird because I had no speed on the short runs tonight. Like the first 5, 6, 7 laps, you could just hang it up for me. But once I got the heat in the tires and was able to get the car perched and pointed into the corner, I was able to capitalize on it. And it got to a point at the end of the runs where I did burn the right rear down and I was getting sideways coming off the corners. But you know, race cars aren't meant to be comfortable. You
That's
just gotta hone that in. You just gotta hone that in. Some people are better at it. So it
Well, I'll tell you,
it was a good
Jeremy,
race.
you should throw that on the back of your tail panel on any car, truck that you drive here. Race cars are not meant to be comfortable. So that's a fantastic saying, but it really was a fantastic run. I think you had that Ford machine really turned up tonight. Your elbows were out. You were really driving that. I feel like this track is really meant for drivers that really enjoy putting that car right on that edge. And you certainly did that, bringing home a third place. Jeremy, I'll turn it over to you. Let you give your shout outs.
I'd like to give a shout out to my teammate, Christian Proctor. He won tonight. Awesome win by him. Also like to say happy birthday to Marty White or Robert White or whatever y'all have him in the broadcast as. I'm really not sure. Um, but I'd like to give a shout out to him. It's his birthday, so special day for him. We're celebrating that. And I'd like to thank Sisk Speed Shop for all the behind the scenes help and the consultations and the really trying to hone in on certain things that I do that I don't need to do on track. So big shout out. Anybody needs help, just reach out to me. I'll get you in contact with Sisk and he'll set y'all up, help y'all out. Really good guy. Known him for a while.
Well, congratulations, man, on a podium finish. Jeremy, we look forward to hopefully talking to you next week, right back here in the booth with another great run.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I really do. And I hope you have a great rest of your broadcast. And that was a fun race.
It was a fun race. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
All right, so there is your third place driver. Now let's see if we can pull in your second place driver, and that is going to be Dylan. Dylan, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, man, it's good to see you out here. I haven't seen that 70 a whole lot this season, but got a little bit of right front damage. It looked like you had a really quick car tonight. got some right front damage. You battled through one green flag pit stop, got some more of that fix. Just looked like at the end, just come up a little bit short on time and laps. But walk me through your race.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Ran last week at Kansas, my first race, really back other than a road course, and struggled really bad with using up the right front. So did some research over the week and kind of figured out what the car needed, what it likes, and what it doesn't like. And so the car felt really good this week. Tire wear was a lot better. And then we had that restart, I think, on lap 16 or so, and the contact was so minor with the 85 car. I didn't think anything of it, but immediately I could tell something was wrong. I think the lap times fell off anywhere from 0.3 to over half a second, even in the draft. So I knew something was wrong. We finally got on pit road, found out about the damage and the significance, just kind of was hoping for a podium. We got the caution and made the decision to get it all fixed and try and see what we could do there. I knew I could maybe hold on to a podium without fixing it, but we definitely didn't have a shot to win. So we went for it all, and it almost paid off. Christian ran a perfect lap that last lap, and we just couldn't quite get to him.
Well, you were right there. And it looked like when he was getting into one, especially on those last two laps, he got into one really well, and he rolled one well. And it looked like, you kind of maybe got caught in that wash a bit, and it pushed kind of hard right through the apex of two, and that just gave him like a 3/10. Like, you got a little tight on the exit of two, gave him about 3/10 of a gap there, and that was really all that he needed to kind of seal that. But man, you were coming in a big way, and a way to come back here full time. Are you going to be full time for the rest of the season?
Oh, that's the plan, as long as work and life allow me to.
Okay, well, listen, you come back, put this car on the podium there in second. A little birdie told me you did about 5 in a row there in the winner position last season. So we look for big things for you for the rest of this season.
Oh yeah, that's the expectations. Coming back after sweeping the playoffs last season and winning the championship. So I don't know. It's going to be tough to close the points gap and make the playoffs again, but that's the goal.
All right, man. Well, fantastic job here coming home in second. We'll turn it over to you and let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, I'm gonna thank everybody over at Hyperspeed for allowing me to hang out with them during the races. Jake Raven and his group, all the guys back at Revved Up. They're obviously still my home. Just the teams were full when I came back, so just kind of getting to meet some new people. Everybody at Victory Fuel, Circuit W Farm, Sports by Dennis, everybody who makes this possible, all the admins, and you for broadcasting it. Trisha's Learning Center for giving us a place to race, and just everybody for coming out.
Yeah, heck of a job, man. We look forward to seeing you next week at a short track. Do some fantastic things and be right back here in the booth talking to us again.
I hope so.
All right, so there is Dylan. That is your second place driver. Now, it is time. It is time to pull this gentleman up here to the booth. That is Christian Proctor. Christian, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, you got me.
Hey, man, I will tell you, there are so many things that happen in this race. First, you had a really quick car right from the jump, hopped out. You're always really aggressive and great on those fresh tires. Get a little wear in them, and maybe you start to fall back a little bit. But on fresh tires, you are the guy to beat. You got the lead early. Kenny snuck it away from you, but you stuck right on there. Then you decided to take a pit a little bit early, put you back in the field a bit, paddled your way back, and then we walk through here. It looks like you stay out about 2 laps longer than Kenny did, put you about 5 seconds back from him, work your way back about a 4-second gap, and then all heck breaks loose in front of you. You got your shot to win, and man, you did not screw that up. Christian, walk me through your race.
Man, all right, so starting out, car felt great. Car felt amazing. Qualified really good. That first caution came out. Me and my teammates were talking. I was like, do I pit? Do I not? Decided to pit just in case it ran green the rest of the time. We could pit one time after that. Make it a basically one green flag pit stop, and that was it. Unfortunately, we had a couple more cautions come out, but still worked out in our favor a little bit. Dude, I don't know. Car just felt so good today. 3-4 laps after fresh tires, like it just felt so good. So good. But yeah, I hate what happened to Kenny. Hate to win a race that way. I'd like to fight it out instead of kind of not handing it to me, but You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I do know what you mean. But listen, you are in the winner circle, my friend, and you deserve. Listen, after all the great runs that you've had this year, some bad luck has fallen your way. Sometimes good luck has to fall our way too.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, this season I guess I've had good luck and bad luck. Nothing too crazy, but definitely see myself getting faster in this car every week and hope to be up here more often.
Well, you are always one to watch. We always love watching your race because you bring the fireworks at the very least every time that we see you out here on the track. Fantastic job bringing home the win, man. You get to kiss the bricks tonight. So, Christian, we'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout out. So then we're going to talk to Marty. We're going to pull him up here and wish him a happy
Yes.
birthday.
Yeah, first one, shout out Marty. Happy birthday, Marty. I want to shout out the team. You know, we help each other get better every week. No matter what happens, or one of us gets out of the race, you know, we're there helping the team rest of the way. It's always a lot of fun running with them. A lot of fun running in this league, and yeah, looking forward to more races.
All right. Well, if you want to hang on with me and you want to wish him a happy birthday, we're going to bring him up here right now.
What?
Marty, this is John and Christian in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Well, listen, you said you didn't want to be interviewed. We were going to pull you up earlier until you went in and just created a melee in the back of the field there. And then, so then we feel like you really didn't want to talk. But man, first of all, happy birthday.
Oh, thank
Happy
you.
birthday,
And
Marty.
first of all, a bee flew into my visor, and
yeah.
I was trying to get it out. That's what happened.
It was a bee in the visor. Yeah, that's really what happened. So in school, the dog eats your homework. The bee in the visor thing is everybody's excuse for that. But it did look like you got a little loose there on the exit of the turn, and it's a shame you caught some other people up in that. But that's what racing is, and you certainly apologized. And heck, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, I felt so bad, honestly, for doing that. I was like, man, that's like, I'm much better than that. I know I'm better than that. And obviously, I didn't mean to do any of that. It was just crappy.
Well, especially on your birthday, right? You want to have a good, clean. And listen, I shouted you out. I'm like, I have a feeling he's got a top 5 car tonight because it's his birthday.
Yep.
And yeah, it did not work out that way, but your buddy Christian was able to pick up the win. So what kind of plans do you have? Did you have a great birthday?
I did. The family took me out to Texas Roadhouse.
Ooh, that's a nice
yeah,
place.
that's the go-to of my family too, is Texas Roadhouse.
Is that the go-to? Let me ask you guys this, since you're race fans. We pose this question, and we'll just do this as a birthday celebration question. Gen 4 cars. Who was your favorite Gen 4 driver?
Ooh.
Oof.
We had Dale Jarrett. We had Mark Martin. I think that's the only 2 that we had tonight.
Oh man.
Honestly, I want to say Mark Martin because I like the sound of the name. It just rolls off the tongue.
Okay, all right. That's good. Christian?
Dude,
Not
I
to
don't
put you
know,
on
man.
the spot.
So many good drivers in Gen 4. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Was
there
Robbie
really
Gordon?
do you feel like on draft tracks, Indy, Daytona, Talladega, do you feel like Earnhardt, do you feel like those guys were the best on plate races through the Gen 4 era? Because they were just dominating plate tracks.
Yeah, I mean, with plate track racing, it's a whole different breed. Like you're either good at it or you're not.
Yeah, and they certainly will. Well, anyway, listen, I know we got to go. Marty, congratulations. Happy birthday. Anytime we're able to wake up on the right side of the bed, my friend, and we get a year older, that is a thing to celebrate.
Yes, it is. As some corny race fan would say, another lap turned.
Another lap turned. Absolutely. So, listen, happy birthday, Christian. Congratulations on a fantastic win, fellas, and I'll let you take us out for the night.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
I took myself out.
There you go. That's the way to do it. We will see you next week at Richmond. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate